Okay, go ahead.
aren't you?
Sure. Well, maybe. I don't know. I can't promise clarity in advance.
Well, so these latest phone summaries that we've been going over.
Right.
I know that they were admitted, but can I get some clarity on under what theory they were admitted? I understand that they admitted as summaries of already admitted evidence. And under 1006, if the evidence is already admitted, they are admitted as demonstrative evidence only. So the clarity that I want is whether they are pedagogical devices or admitted as evidence. If the evidence is already in, these are just
Which ones are these?
demonstrative aids.
Summaries. Which ones
Your
are
Honor,
the summaries and which ones?
7 November, and then subsection Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. And the state believes that these summaries are summaries of voluminous records.
And can you, because I haven't seen any of them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this, I know the witness was talking about once you figure out how to do something, then you can see just the conversation threads that you care about, not the others. Is that all this is the conversation threads that he was looking into without the rest of it?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so they're not really summaries. They're a version of the evidence that has the extraneous material excluded.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, so I would not consider this to be a summary exhibit in the way that we would normally talk about a summary exhibit that's then demonstrative. This is just, it's not a summary, it's just without the extraneous information, so
Right,
it's
but
admitted.
it's not admitted as evidence that goes out.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get clarity about, and maybe we can do that at some other point.
Yeah,
but
I think we can do that at some other time, but if you're making like a continuing witness inquiry,
Yes.
I would think that this would not be continuing witness. This would be
Well-
actual evidence, substantive evidence.
Well,
But
that's-
you can argue it later.
Okay.
Because we won't be sending anything to the jury anytime soon,
I want to
unfortunately.
preserve. I wanted to preserve the point. That's all. Thank you.
Maybe sooner than we think. Here's hoping. Okay. All right. So we're ready for the jury. Let's get the jury in. You going to proceed, Mr. Atkins?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is going to publish 7 November, Charlie. So, Mr. Howes, when we broke for lunch, I believe we were discussing, I'll go just a little bit back. So at to reorient the jury, this demonstrative before us is Hartsfield's Instagram and the Instagram associated with Bernard Mitchell in blue. Is that correct?
Yes, this is a summary of the conversation of Ms. Hartsfield and Bernard Mitchell. Yeah.
And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And so, timeline-wise, again, can you help orient, and I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, this top video call event from Hartsfield's Instagram. What time is that in Eastern Standard Time?
So it would be 4:05 and 44 seconds Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. And then is there one roughly a little bit under a minute later at 4:06:21?
Yes.
Okay. Now, these next three on the right, the light blue, can you walk through how many video calls Bernard Mitchell has, Instagram has back to Ms. Hartsfield's Instagram?
Will you go back? I think I'm a little confused. Can we just start? Can you go back?
Yes. I will go back
to 9 o'clock UTC.
Yes. So do you see this message by the crystal at 9:05 UTC?
This. And that was sent from Bernard Mitchell to Ms. Hartsfield.
And then can you walk the jury through when you were reviewing this next sequence of events between Hartsfield's and Mitchell's Instagram?
Mr. Mitchell at 9 o'clock UTC, which would be 4 a.m., sent a message that said, "Send Daddy." 3 minutes later, Ms. Hartsfield responded, "Okay, I'm getting it," and then followed up the message with 85 Mount Zion. And that was at 9:05, so 4:05 a.m. Then at 4:05 a.m. and 44 seconds and 4:06 a.m. and 21 seconds, 2 video call events were initiated by Ms. Hartsfield towards Mr. Mitchell. Then again, the way Instagram stores the records, I don't know if they actually communicated or if it was a missed call or what, but as the records were stored in 2019, it doesn't indicate whether a conversation was had. And then at 9:08:49 UTC, so at 4:08 a.m. 49 seconds and 4:09 a.m. and 18 seconds, there was 2 video calls initiated from Mr. Mitchell to Ms. Hartsfield. And then at 9:09:31 UTC, which is 4:09 a.m. and 31 seconds, Mr. Mitchell sent a message to Ms. Hartsfield stating, "Where you at, bruh? We at the gate." Then,
Mr. Howes, so going back just a little bit, at 4 o'clock, Mr. Mitchell asked, "Send your Addy," and then after the 85 Mount Zion by Hartsfield's Instagram, how many minutes later after this 4:05 a.m. message from in Eastern Time from Ms. Hartsfield's account of 85 Mount Zion is the message you just stated of WYA, bro, we're at the gate?
approximately 4 minutes.
Okay. What happens after the Instagram account with Mr. Mitchell states he at the gate?
So at 9:09:54 UTC, which is 4:09, and then at 4:10 a.m. Eastern Time, respectively, there was video events, call events initiated by Mr. Mitchell to Ms. Hartsfield. And then at 4:10 a.m. and 21 seconds, Mr. Mitchell sent a message to Ms. Hartsfield that said, "We finna dip."
After that message of at 4:10:21, what does Ms. Hartsfield's Instagram in relation to Mr. Mitchell's do next?
At So then at 4:10:49 and 4:11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's video call events initiated by Ms. Hartsfield to Mr. Mitchell, and then at 4:13:51 a.m. and 4:14:19 a.m. there's 2 video calls initiated from Mr. Mitchell towards Ms. Hartsfield.
And after that 4:13 Eastern Time video call event, is there another sequence of video events between the two of them?
Yeah. So at 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 video calls initiated by Ms. Hartsfield to Mr. Mitchell in between those, and those started at so let's see, it was 5:10 a.m. and 20 seconds, 5:10 a.m. and 37 seconds, 5:18 a.m. and 49 seconds, and then at 5:19 a.m. and 17 seconds. There's a video call sequence initiated by Ms. Hartsfield to Mr. Mitchell.
And Mr. Howes, do you still have that pointer nearby you?
I do.
Can you orient the jury to the 9:14 a.m. or excuse me, the 9:14 UTC call on this exhibit?
So this is where you would see that at 9:14:19 UTC, which is 5:14 a.m., Mr. Mitchell initiated a video call to Ms. Hartsfield.
And Mr. Howes, in UTC for February of 2019, is it 5 hours or 4 hours?
It's 5 hours. So it would have been 4:14.
And after that 4:14 video call, how much time elapses between the next interaction between Hartsfield's Instagram and Mitchell's?
There is almost an hour in between those at 10:10 and 20 seconds UTC, which is 5:10 a.m. and 20 seconds Eastern Standard Time. You can see that Ms. Hartsfield initiates a video call to Mr. Mitchell.
And Mr. Howes, is what we had published as 1 November, the CAD report for this incident, did that CAD report, was that generated in this gap of time?
Yes, it was.
And after that 5:10 Eastern Time, depicted in the far left of this screen, Hartsfield video call event to Mitchell, what is next?
Are you the 5:10 the?
Yep, the very top.
So
pink
there's
what's going on video chat after that.
There are 4 video calls initiated by Ms. Hartsfield. It would be, I'll stick to Eastern Time, so 5:10 and 20 seconds Eastern Standard Time, 5:10 and 37 seconds Eastern Standard Time, 5:18 and 49 seconds Eastern Standard Time, and 5:19 and 17 seconds Eastern Standard Time are all of the video call events initiated by Ms. Hartsfield to Mr. Mitchell.
Is that 4 video call events from Ms. Hartsfield's Instagram to Mr. Mitchell's in a span of about 10 minutes?
Yes, it is. And again, I don't know if they spoke. I don't know if it was completed. I just know that it was initiated from her account to him.
And scrolling down, can you orient the jury to the time of these video call events depicted on page 5 of 7 November, Charlie?
Yes. So again, there are 4 video call events initiated by Mr. Mitchell to Ms. Hartsfield, and those times are 5:22 a.m. and 36 seconds, 5:23 a.m. and 12 seconds, 5:23 a.m. and 35 seconds, and 5:26 a.m. and 2 seconds.
And those are Mr. Mitchell's video call events to the Instagram of Ms. Hartsfield?
Yes.
And then what is the last, or what does this next message state?
Ms. Hartsfield sends a message to Mr. Mitchell at 5:26 a.m. and 5:26 and 45 seconds a.m. And she sends the message to Mr. Mitchell that says, "On my auntie, we ain't set you up."
And what's the, after that 5:26 a.m., when's the next interaction time-wise between Mitchell's associated Instagram and Hartsfield's?
So at 14:09 and 08 and 14:09:20, which would be, I think, about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's 2 video calls here and here initiated from Ms. Hartsfield to Mr. Mitchell. And then at 14:09:27 UTC, Miss Hartsfield sends a text, "Bro, y'all good."
And Mr. Howes, would that 1400, would that be 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time?
So
I mean UTC time?
yes, it would be. So it would be 2 p.m. UTC -5, so about 9 a.m.
And then what is the last message, the time and message from Hartsfield's Instagram to Mitchell's?
Miss Hartsfield sends the message that says, "Text, bruh, y'all good," phrased as a question.
Now, when you were looking through these records, Mr. Howes, did you ever locate any shared direct stories between the parties' Instagrams that we've just walked through?
Yes, I did. So just from reviewing so many different Instagram messages, there's different modes of direct communication through the Instagram app. And Instagram, when you message somebody directly through their stories, it stores those communications in a different spot inside of the index and as well as the PDF. And so I then looked at Mr. Mitchell's Instagram records under his direct stories tab in that index to see if there was any other communications between the parties that we had been or that I had been investigating.
And did you ever see a direct story between Hartsfield's Instagram, Blaylock, and Ryan's?
Yes, I did. There was a message sent via direct story from Tahiria Hartsfield to both Rodelius Ryan and Damone Blaylock.
Your Honor, I'm going to publish what's been marked, or not marked, admitted as one brief moment, Your Honor. As 3 November Alpha. Now, as I'm, and it's page 384 of that exhibit. Mr. Howes, when you look at, so, is the author and recipients in this direct stories when they're captured on Instagram, do they come first and then the photo or message beneath them?
So, yes. So what you're going to see is that this particular message would have been sent at the author, which is the author here is 96474220004. What that indicates is that that author correlates to Tahiria Hartsfield. That is the same number associated, the target number associated with her account. So that's how I knew that she was the sender. And then the recipients, if the Rudy and Big Boo, and then the Cleveland Avenue, those respectively would have been Damone Blaylock and Rodelius Ryan. And when I talked about earlier, how you had the vanity name and then the actual account name that shows up under the picture, in the direct stories, the way Instagram saves it, it will be the account name associated with it.
Now, scrolling to 386.
So the way it's stored is you'll have the sender information, and then you will have the actual image that was sent via the direct story.
And what was the message that the Instagram associated with Hartsfield sent to the Instagrams associated with Blaylock and Ryan?
The message says, I just left the investigation room. They grabbed me and locked me up, and they grabbed Mariah. On Richie, she's snitching inward. They know about you, but not Lil Rod. I told his ass I don't know what the fuck happened. On Richie, I stayed solid. You can, with the C replaced with a K, ask my mama. I told the deactivate, I believe detective, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't even know how my name came up. Again, the C is replaced with a K. I don't know how my name came up, but he said people telling him I set Mari up, and Mariah told them my name and told them to grab me. That message was sent from Tahiria Hartsfield to Damone Blaylock and Rodelius Ryan, I believe the day of the homicide.
And scrolling back to 384, what was the time of this post in Eastern Standard Time?
This post was sent on 2/24, 2019 UTC 2:37. So it would have been 5 hours before that. So approximately 10:37 p.m. on November 23rd, 2019.
So if it was 0 to
9:37. I'm sorry, 9:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 23rd, 2019 is when it was sent.
And one brief
And so,
second, Mr. Howes, when you, after that message, and let me ask you something. In direct stories, is it in descending or ascending order?
so I believe I mentioned it earlier, but I'll state it again. So the messaging, the way messages are stored in the return of the records, they're in ascending order. So you get the top of the list is the original message that was sent. The way that the records were returned in 2019, for direct stories, they're stored in descending order. So the first message saved in the direct stories on these Instagram returns is going to be the last message sent or received.
So, Mr. Howes, with that said, this is the message we just discussed on the screen. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then scrolling up, do we see, is that the time and names that you just described?
So, so above it this is the same message that we sent. And then if you scroll up, this next message is the reply.
What does it state?
The reply says, I knew that hoe was a rat, and what she say about me.
And who, scrolling up again, would that help you understand who sent that?
Yeah. It is Rudy Big Boo. That was the name. So if you go to the way I cross-referenced this to confirm, I opened up the records of Damone Blaylock that our office obtained. So if you could,
I'm going to open those right now.
And Jairus, while we've got little pauses while they're adding new evidence up for y'all to see, if y'all need to move or stretch or anything like that, remember to feel free to.
So, publishing for you and the jury, State's Exhibit 3, November, and
right. So I looked at that target and account number that's associated with Damone Blaylock's records, and that was 383-818-7897. And then I scrolled down to the username, and it says the name, which would appear below the photograph on your profile, and it's Rudy Big Boo. And then I went directly back to the message that I saw. So if you can see that now, is this, did you toggle back to the message?
correct. I toggled back to the post we were just describing.
So if you could see that the post saying, I knew that hoe was a rat, was sent by the author, Rudy Big Boo. This is the name, and then the account number associated with it right here. So,
Is it end in 7897?
yes, it does.
And going back to 3 November for Blaylock's Instagram returns, what is the last four? Is it 7897?
Yes, it is. So the account number and then the name was still the same. So that's how I was able to confirm the accounts that were sending and receiving those particular messages.
And Mr. Hiles, I'm publishing what has been marked as 2 November Alpha. What is the target, the last four of this target number?
The last four of that target number is 1951.
And if I scroll down, what is the first name displayed? It takes us a slight lag.
The first name displayed is Cleveland Ave.
And what's the vanity name for this account?
So you can see that, we scroll up a little bit.
Yes.
So there's two things that are of note here. You can see that the vanity name associated with this is, scroll down, Slime Business Rod. And then if you scroll back up, you can see that, wait, please scroll down a little.
Yep.
You can see that the there's two email addresses registered to this account. It is minutes with the C replaced with an X, .sync@gmail.com, and email slimebusinessrod23@gmail.com.
And for the last four of this target are 1951, is that correct?
Yes.
And if you go back to the message that was sent to both from the Instagram associated with Hartsfield to the Instagram associated with Blaylock and Ryan, is this 1951 with the username Cleveland Ave?
Yeah, so if you got to scroll, you got to size down just a little bit, and you will see that they are the recipients of that message of Miss Hartsfield describing being snatched up by the detectives, and that they don't know about Lil Rod.
And so using these identifying numbers for the Instagram, is that how you're able to associate who's receiving or sending, whose Instagram account associated with is sending or receiving messages?
Exactly, and I did the same thing. So I did the same thing with where it says author. Right there, there was no username associated. It was deleted on that account's front. So this is only showing in the records of Damone Blaylock at this time.
Is this end in 2004?
That number ending in 2004, again, just to cross-reference and make sure that I was looking at what I thought I was looking at, I then opened Tahiria Hartfield's account and confirmed that was her, in fact, her target number, her account number, so I can make sure that it was her that was sending those messages, or her account.
Publishing 5 November Alpha. And the last of that was that 2004, Mr. Howes?
Yes.
And publishing, is this that same target and account number?
Yes, it is. And that was the Instagram returns for associated with Miss Hartsfield.
And is that the what's going on that we saw on the different formatted exhibits we walked through with the jury?
Yes, it is.
Now, I wanted to approach you with 2 November Alpha 1 and 3 November Bravo. And, Your Honor, these exhibits, for the record, are items parties in the court have discussed that are from the, and does the court have a copy of the exhibit list?
Yeah, I think so.
These are what the parties in the court have discussed from 2 November Alpha and 3 November. I gave them their own exhibit number for the record.
Okay, so they're a part of the larger exhibit.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm going to start with, well, so, Your Honor, these items are admitted, but for purposes of efficiency will be the business record certs for these records have been entered. And so I wanted to tender these items for the records purposes to publish them. And I'm happy to approach if need to, but.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So it's 2 November Alpha 1 and 3 in Alpha.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right? Okay. I thought I already had admitted 3 in Alpha.
Or, excuse me, Your Honor, it is 3 in Bravo is the second one.
Okay. Thought I had already admitted that one as well, but anyway. They're admitted if they weren't already separately admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. So I'm going to start, and Mr. Howes, is that excerpts from, or what are those?
So I recognize 3 November Bravo is specific pictures and other conversations that were taken from Mr. Blaylock's Instagram records. And then I recognize as 2 November Alpha 1. Those are different pictures, Instagram stories, and messages that came from Rodelius Ryan's Instagram returns.
I'm going to start with the excerpts from Rodelius Ryan's Instagram returns and publish 2 November Alpha 1 up on the screen. One brief moment, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Howes, we had discussed or mentioned about how Instagram returns get sent back, and so I want to walk through some of these with you. Can you tell the jury this is from the Instagram account associated with Rodelius Ryan?
Correct.
And this Instagram business record and page number, is that from the larger PDF embedded in the returns from those records?
Yes. So that is, you see it's titled Instagram Business Records. This would have been stored on page 125 of the PDF returned for the records with Mr. Ryan.
And what does this message on page 125 state?
So what you will see here is it's Instagram story post by slimelife.shawty that states, I love you, with a green heart, at Slime Business Rod, you realer than me. And then in smaller print at the bottom of the page, it would say, it says, full throttle about you, with a red heart emoji.
What was the, scrolling down, will Instagram, after a post such as that in the records, is this date and time? Can you kind of explain this for the jury?
Well, this is actually, so this is the photo ID. You would have to scroll up to know the date and time of the post for this particular post. It would be on page 124 whenever this particular post was sent.
Okay.
So if you wanted to figure that out, you could also copy the photo ID and then search it in the larger records, and it would take you to the post if you have the full records. But I'm not exactly sure when this would have been posted without
Understood. I will publish 2 November Alpha. So if you open up the Instagram records, from Rodelius Ryan's Instagram, if I toggle back to what we were just discussing, this photo ID number,
Yes.
highlighted in blue, that ends in 2262,
Yes.
if you search that as here and click enter, will it bring you to when it was posted?
Yes. So, okay. So I was wrong. So it was below. So it has, if you scroll up, oh, all right, you see the post, keep scrolling up. Okay. All right. So sorry, I was wrong. Scroll down again.
Okay.
You were correct. So you will see the photo ID. Here's the ID of the photo. It is 1986848663869412262. It says this was taken 2:25 at 5 UTC, which would be 12 a.m. And it says it expires at 2:26 at 5 a.m. Or I'm sorry, at would be 12 a.m. On 2:26. So
Are these up for 24 hours? So
basically, this is an Instagram story that Slime Business Rod was tagged in that he reshared, and it was posted on 2/25/2019, and then it was up for 24 hours, and it would expire, and it wouldn't be able to be viewed by the followers or whoever had access to view the Instagram account after that amount of time.
going back to these excerpts from the Instagram account associated with Rodelius Ryan, I wanted to go to page 127.
Yes.
Now, in what's published, is it slight? Is there, or what is depicted in this photograph, or mentioned in the message?
It says, "Love these in words."
Oh, hold on one second. With what's on the screen, or what's at the top?
Oh, okay. At the top, it says, "I'm not in." It says, "I'm not in the picture," with a laughing face emoji.
And then there's a photograph.
Correct.
And if you scroll to the bottom, then what does it read?
So it reads, "Love these in words," red heart emoji, BL, which is Block Life, and it says at one Briss at real life one _FR at Will9 Life, and then it said Block Life, and it's got the no, I guess, emoji for like the no smoking sign, and then it's got no, and then it's got a cap, no cap, and then it says hashtag no IG bear. So it's denoting the people that are in this picture, and then stating this is Block Life, no cap to Block Life, and then stating that bear does not have an IG.
So scrolling down to what was the date that this is posted?
So you're going to see that the photo ID just below the photo, and then again, let me do it this way. Just below the photo, you're going to have that photo ID, and then that matching ID. It says taken on. It was this Instagram story was posted on 2/24/2019 at 23:24 UTC, which would be, I believe, 6:24 p.m. And then it expired on February 25th, 2019, at exactly 24 hours later. So it would have been the 24th of February when it was posted, and then was taken down.
And going to the next in this excerpt, what does this on page 129 of this Instagram, what's the top state?
So again, it states this is going to be another Instagram story that was posted on Rodelius Ryan's account. It states burnt bitch, and it's a picture with Rodelius Ryan displaying cash and a person that I'm not familiar with. And it says in green lettering, "I tried it once, now I can't leave without my gun on me." And below it, go FW it. FW is an acronym for fuck with it.
When was this posted?
So you'll see that that same photo ID, that was posted on, so this would have been on February 23rd, 2019. So actually, it was posted at 12:05 a.m. on February 23rd, 2019. So it would have been the same day as the homicide as Jamari Holmes.
Is this 12:55 a.m. as opposed to 12:05?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 12:55 a.m. It is 12:55 because it was 055 UTC.
Scrolling down to page 137, what is the Instagram, or let me ask you this. So scrolling up, what does this message read, and who was the original poster's handle?
So the original poster would have been "Do It for Phil _
And what is the message that is in this post?
It states, so-called is the top. When them so-called OGs don't feed them young N-words, it boosts up the crime rate.
And are you able on Instagram, if someone shares a story, if this is the Instagram associated with Rodelius Ryan, to repost or reshare?
Yes, this would have been a repost of "Do It for Phil's" story by Rodelius Ryan.
And what was the date and time, or what was the date without the time?
The date was February 18th of 2019. And it was, just like all stories, posted for 24 hours, and it expired on February 19th, 2019.
Now, going to page 143,
Yes.
what is this the same Instagram handle that we discussed with the very first post at Slime Life, SHAWTY?
Yes, so it says, Slime, all we know, we can't go out bad, at Slime Life Shoddy, red heart emoji, loyalty over love. This would have been a post by Rodelius Ryan tagging at Slime Life Shoddy in the post.
And what was the date of this post?
This Instagram story would have been posted on February 12th, 2019, and expired on February 13th, 2019. Again, showing in the story section of Mr. Ryan for 24 hours.
And going to page 145, what does this story show or state?
It states, "Rest up, boo. I got you forever." Or "I got you sliding forever."
And what was the time, or excuse me, the date of this post?
It would have been posted on February 10th, 2019. It would have been up for 24 hours on the story and expiring on February 11th, 2019.
Going to PDF page 13, what does this caption read or post read?
Says, none but straighten love, you done 183 bear emoji. States, this N-word was a legend in the streets, that shit hurt my soul to know he gone. He used to like Meek Mill for some reason. I guess that's who he...
Yes.
May we approach briefly?
You may.
Mr. Howes, what does the remainder of this post state?
I don't know where I left off, so it said, this N-word was a legend in the streets. That shit hurt my soul to know he gone. He used to like Meek Mill for some reason. I guess that's who he thought was real in the rap game. He always told me never watch a man pocket, again, omitting the C, and think you deserve the money he got. That's why the rest of them N-words broke.
And was this on January 21st of 2019?
It was a story posted on January 21st, 2019, and it was up for 24 hours.
Now, going past page 166, going to page 203, do you see, can you describe for the jury kind of how you have a post and you have graphics on the front? With Instagram and these stories, what is this? Is this a repost, a new post?
So this looks to be like a post. It's a screenshot of a post that was then posted by Mr. Ryan's account.
And what was the original Instagram handle from this post?
So it's going to be Ocean Drive Slim with the S in Ocean replaced with a 5. And it states at Slime Business Rod. And it's got, it's written in lime green with a green heart, champagne bottle emoji. It's got a snake emoji and it says, "Happy birthday, little bro, live it up." And it says hashtag slime business, and then it's got a green heart emoji and a snake.
And what was the date of this post?
The date would have been posted by Mr. Ryan's account on December 20th, 2018, and it remained up for 24 hours. And it states that it is a, you can see where the status of it, so it's a deleted reshare by the original media. So
What does that mean?
basically it means he shared a post that was deleted by its original poster. He reshared it.
Publishing what's been already admitted as 426 Yankee. What is the Instagram handle with 426 Yankee?
What page did you go to?
It's going to be on the screen only.
Okay.
Yes.
If we can approach, minimize the screen briefly.
So, Mr. Howes, can you do me a favor and look at the screen to 426 Yankee? And I wanted to ask you,
Just would renew any previous objection.
All right, thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what is the Instagram handle from 426 Yankee?
It is the Ocean Drive Slim. Again, with the S in Ocean replaced with a 5. And then it says, yeah, is that all you wanted?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about the handle.
Okay.
Going back to, is that the same handle in the post that we were just discussing?
Yes. So what that post was is essentially when a person is tagged by another individual, like let's say in this case, Mr. Rodelius Ryan would have been tagged in a happy birthday wish, and then you can also reshare that over the Instagram, Mr. Ryan's Instagram. So he was resharing where he was tagged on a birthday post.
Going to the next in 2 November Alpha 1. So is this another reshare, as in the Instagram associated with Rodelius Ryan is resharing it, or can you describe this post where you have?
Yeah, he would have been tagged, and it looks like he's resharing a post posted by Do It for Phil, where Do It for Phil tagged Slime Business Rod. It's hard to see the Do It for Phil as being the original poster because it's in white and it's like a white on white background. But you can see he was sharing a picture of Ryan, and what it says, if you scroll down, it's a picture of Rodelius Ryan. He is wearing a necklace with a YSL pendant. He has a firearm tucked into his waistband, and it says hashtag Top Shotta, happy snake emoji day young, at Slime Business Rod, with another heart emoji, and it says youngest in charge, and it has several, I guess, laughing emojis as well as a crying emoji.
And is this original post where beneath that where it says Slime Business Rod?
No, the original poster is Do It for Phil, and he's posting a picture. He's posting a picture of Slime Business Rod and saying this is his account. He's tagging that picture and wishing him happy Snake Day, happy birthday.
And what is the last message after Slime Business Rod in this post?
Oh, it says, Cleveland is the jungle. Most of you inwards wouldn't survive. Hashtag Glocks and Choppas. So that was the original tag posted by Slime Business Rod.
And is that, what kind of emoji is that afterwards?
A demon.
What about the very end, the bottom?
It's got a picture of a smiley face with its mouth shut with a zipper, zipped shut.
And was this posted on December 20th of 2018?
Yes, it was posted December 20th, and it expired 24 hours later on December 21st. So you can, again, see that it says deleted. It expired. It was a story, and it was a reshare of the media posted by Do It for Phil.
Scrolling down further, this is another post in the Instagram associated with Rodelius Ryan.
Yes.
And what does this one read?
It reads, shoot the ops, make them catch on fire emoji. The catch as a spell with a K with replacing the C. And it says hashtag Opsville with the emoji of someone's head exploding.
And what is this posted on December 6th of 2018?
Yes, and it was a story post, and it was up for 24 hours. Expired on, no, it was posted on December 6th and then expired on December 7th.
going down further, are you able to, with Instagram stories, have like a graphic or photograph posted from your
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, you can.
And are you able to read what
Yes.
this states?
I'm going to object to this being admitted. This is something which was discussed previously and was subject to foundation. I don't think that foundation's been laid.
All right, so it's a foundation objection.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Hiles is reading what we've previously discussed. So I'm not asking Mr. Hiles. This is in evidence, and we have previously addressed this, all parties in the state. So I don't know what the foundation is of an admitted exhibit.
If it's admitted, forgive me, I just may not recall exactly what
The
the
ruling from-
objection was, so maybe y'all want to approach again. Do y'all want to take a quick break? Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, for the jury.
All right, I'm sorry. Ms. Abassi, you may just have to remind me.
Yes, Judge. When we address these photos specifically, this is one, I believe we objected on relevance, that it didn't have any relevance at this point, and Your Honor's ruling was that it would be subject to some sort of foundation or connection, and that's not come in at this point.
So it's a relevance objection.
Yes. But
And this exhibit is already in evidence.
so what we had discussed, and the state is well aware of, is that the entirety of the records were put in for the sake of completeness, but the entirety of the content is not something which, the entirety of the record is placed into evidence, so there is the entire record. The part which is evidence in this case, that if the jury said, we'd like to see what the evidence was, we've already discussed that. And this is within that category.
Meaning the two of you amongst yourselves have discussed that?
With,
Your Honor, if I may briefly. I rewatched the hearing that we had on these because I always want to be transparent. I don't want to publish something that the court said was subject to foundation. I'm trying to pull up my notes on this. And so this exhibit has been, the state has twice or three times, and by the state, I've personally been redacting either names or the photographs in that exhibit we posted in line with conversations with defense counsel and rulings by this honorable court. And everything that ADA Hiles is publishing, which is why I did it this way, is what has been shared with all defense counsel, and I've had ample conversations, and there's nothing new in what's being published. And so I'm trying to pull up my notes from the hearing because I would have not included if it was subject to foundation Hiles. I'm not perfect, but
The hearing was?
yes, Your Honor, it was October 9th, and I have time hacks in my notes from the YouTube of when rulings were made, so I'm trying to find that so that the court can refresh to find that.
to the extent that the state intends on calling someone to lay this foundation later, I think this is cumulative now to have him simply reading them out when at this point there's no context. But someone else is going to come and do that later.
So, Your Honor, and any defense counsel, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe through Detective Belknap, Rudy Gang and the individual who was deceased and is referenced and is tattooed on some of the co-defendants in this case with Rudy Gang has been discussed through either a witness or a gang detective. And if I'm wrong on that, correct me, but that has been referenced in this trial writ large. I was not physically present for Detective Belknap, who was the first witness, but my understanding from even since when I have been is there has been some discussion of that. And number two, this is an admitted exhibit that I intentionally kept within the four corners of what defense counsel, this court, we've all discussed. So there shouldn't be any surprises in what I'm walking through, because I wanted to avoid any kind of hiccup with publication.
I'm not saying that this is a surprise. This is just not the appropriate time or the appropriate witness to be bringing it in.
Your Honor, if there's a rule of evidence objection, which was foundation, this is an admitted exhibit. So I don't know how to address a foundational objection with an admitted exhibit. That is a pre-admitted objection.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to take a break as well, and if any of y'all need to take a break while the jury is out, do that quickly, because I'm sure it'll take the jury a few minutes. all the attorneys back and the defendants, please. Do we know whether the jury's ready when we get everybody out? Because we'll need them in maybe 2 minutes. All right, I think we have everybody, so let's get the jury out. Ready? All right, we're getting the jury out. Everybody please rise. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Atkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Howes, I'm publishing what's marked as page 240 of State's Exhibit 2, November Alpha 1. It should be coming up here in just 1 second. And how does this read?
Rudy 4L gang.
And what was the date of this post?
12/2/2018. It was a story and it was up for 24 hours.
Now, for these stories, are they public or private in terms of are they shared to specific people, or can anyone on Instagram view these?
So I don't know how his account settings were. If his account settings were private, then only his followers could view them. If his account settings were open to the public, then whoever looked up Slime Business Ride could view those postings.
Going to page 244, in this slide, how does this read, or what does this say?
It says, love all my snake emojis, and then it's tagged several Instagram names, those names being Slime Life Shawty, lilslime.vert, at Lil Got It, at Lil Keed, at Playa_nut, at BlockLife OKKY, at BlockLife.Burna, at ESPN_Pokey, at 1BSlime, and at 1.JDog.
And that post, was that November 28th of 2018?
Yes, it was. It was up for 24 hours.
Moving to page 258, what does this post depict?
Appears to be several handguns, one of them having, or a couple of them having some extended magazines, and it says Guns and Roses.
And that was posted, is it November 22nd of 2018?
That's correct.
Going to the next post on PDF page 260, what does this post state?
So the top word, it basically makes slime, I guess, an acronym. And it spells slime at the top, and it says S, sorry, L, Lord, I is I'm, M is money, and E is educated. So sorry, Lord, I'm money educated, and then it's surrounded by snake emojis.
And was that posted on November 22nd of 2018?
Yes, it was posted on that date and up for 24 hours on his story.
Going to page 315, is this another story from Rodelius Ryan's Instagram?
I would have to see to confirm it was a story. I'd have to see the photo description below it.
And what was the date of this?
So if you can you enlarge it, please? So yes, it is a story that was posted on 10/20/2018 and expired on October 21st of 2018.
Now, I wanted to show you, or ask you, I should say, give me 1 second. Is there also, remember when we started, we discussed the Instagram index?
Yes.
And there was those blue hyperlinks in the bottom.
Yes.
Is one of those in Instagram records a linked media?
Yes.
Can you explain for the jury how that linked media works when you get Instagram records returns back, like the records in the case we're discussing?
Sure. You want to pull it up and
Yes.
I can explain?
So I'm pulling up index in the same exhibit we were just discussing associated with Rodelius Ryan, which is 2 November Alpha. Mr. Howes, can you show with the jury on that screen
So for linked media, it's not going to be here. You need to go to the actual folder.
Got it. Give me one quick second.
Yes.
Just to be sure, when something's displayed, you just make sure it's in evidence since it's not included in that exhibit, from what I understood.
So, Your Honor, the disc that's in evidence, that's 2 November through 6, and there's a couple subsections. That is folders, subfolders, all the bells and whistles from the Instagram returns that Mr. Howes has been discussing. So it's not just PDFs, it is the entirety of those.
All right, so whatever it is we're searching for now or that y'all are searching for now is a part of what's already been admitted?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
And Your Honor, just for the record, to make it clear, the disk that operates on, it's faster to save that to my desktop. So I am opening that same folder from that exhibit on my desktop.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Howes,
Okay, so this is what you are going to see from. Can you make it bigger?
yes.
All right. Well, this is what you're going to see when you get the returns from Instagram. You're sent a zip file from Instagram.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this on relevance of going through the exact file names and the procedurally how to get to the item we're trying to reference.
Trying to see if there's going to be a response or.
So, Your Honor, I'm trying to efficiently, through Mr. Howes, just show the jury where these come from. The videos, because you have to. That's all. The state believes this is relevant for how the videos we're going to be publishing, where they came from.
All right, I'm going to permit it.
Okay. So what you get here in linked media is going to be every file, whether it's picture, video, or anything that is attached to a post. And so that is going to be the actual file where you can view the videos and actually view the media without having to open the full files. Every media file that's shared in the linked media is going to have that unique either photo ID or direct story number, and it's going to correlate with the PDF, the number, so you can see in the PDF file when it was published. And then this is the linked media is the actual media that was published with that, whether it be story, direct message, or direct story. So that's where all of the files are contained.
And just circling back, you had mentioned about if someone shares a story, whether it's private or public, is those stories shared, is it ever to just one person in what we were walking through, or can you explain that a little
So
more?
a direct story is only shared with the people, they can denote who can see it. If it's like the message we spoke about earlier, it was a direct story and it was shared originally from Ms. Hartfield to Mr. Ryan and Mr. Blaylock. Those are the only people that could see that. Instagram has another option of their story where you can denote close friends. close friends are whomever the user designates as their close friends. You can publish a story and only the people you've designated as your close friends can view it. Or if it is not designated as that, if you have a public account, then whoever comes to your page can see it. Otherwise, only your followers will be able to see that particular story.
Understood. And
so
when you open up that linked media folder, does it contain all of the, you see how it has direct stories, media, and numbers after them?
So, yes. So it's going to tell you what type of file it is, the size of it. Now, this date right here is 7/2/2019. What that denotes is when this file was unzipped from what Facebook provided. So this is a digital record of when this file was originally unzipped and opened. Now, the direct stories and the numbers correlating with it, that is what you can see in the PDF, the business records, as to the actual published date by the owner of the account.
Now, I'm going to publish for you. Give me 1 second. So that number that the file is saved as, if you were to search that in the larger PDF, would you be able to tell the date it was posted?
You can get the date and the time it was posted. And there's two places you can search it. You can search it in the actual PDF records that we've been going about. These are the business records that we've been discussing. Or Instagram also provides to you what's called an index, where all of this digital media is indexed and you can view it in digital format. They provide it in both ways. The linked media, you don't need to be connected to the internet to be able to figure out the time and date. You just have to have the business records downloaded and be able to correlate the number of the associated with the linked media to the numbers in the business records. Or if you go to the index, you have to be connected to the internet and you can view it in a different digital format.
I'm going to publish. Thank you, Mr. House. I'm going to publish for you a video that ends in 4719.
Okay.
It's going to come up momentarily.
We ride back, run through this shit. Yeah, fuck wrong with y'all, nigga. We ride back, run through this shit. Fuck wrong with y'all. Yeah, peace and blessings. Gang, peace and blessings, like shit. Peace and blessings. Y'all know they're the real one.
Okay, so you see that number? It's at the bottom of the screen right here.
Yes.
4719.
If I copy that number in the PDF return for the Instagram associated with Rodelius Ryan, will that help us find out the date and time for this video?
It will tell you the date and time the video was posted.
publishing for you the larger PDF Instagram business record for this account. And do you see how in the top right, if you search that video identifier, if I click this, will it take me to the date and time posted?
Yes.
When was that video posted?
So it was posted as a story. It was posted October 11th, 2018. And if you scroll down, there it goes. And then it was up for 24 hours, and you can see that it expired 24 hours later at the same time it was from the time it was posted.
Now, if you were to take an Instagram video from your phone, how does that, is there anything like the mirror effect? Can you explain that?
Well, anything that's filmed like this, the camera on the front of the lens, when you have it reversed, the picture is going to show up in mirrored image.
I'm going to publish a video contained in the same exhibit that ends in 68521.
You finna give me some? Oh yeah, put on them. I ain't mad. You finna wear these sheets or something? For sure. Round the head.
Now, before testifying on the stand now, were you able to review this specific video in the Instagram records?
Yes.
And what, did you see anything of note in this video?
I did, and I will note when I watched it on your computer screen, I had to turn the brightness all the way up.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this witness testifying to what of note was. It's vague.
Your Honor, I can rephrase.
All right.
Did you see a gun in this video?
Yes,
Mr. House?
I'm going
there's
to
an
object to the witness narrating what the jurors are just as capable of viewing.
Overruled.
Yes, there's an AR-style rifle being held by Mr. Ryan with a drum magazine.
What is a drum magazine?
Drum magazine is a high-capacity magazine that is in the shape of a circular shape, in the shape of a drum. It's carries high volume of rounds.
And was there any jewelry that you saw when reviewing this video?
Yes, he's wearing Mr. Ryan's wearing a chain that's YSL. And like you asked earlier, the YSL looks backwards as in a mirror image as it was filmed with the camera turned around on the phone.
And if I were to control and search this video number, would I be able to find when this video was posted?
Yes, you would.
Republishing the Instagram business record for these records. When was this video published?
Yeah, it was published October 20th, 2018, and it expired 24 hours after it was published.
Now, Mr. Howes, I wanted to also show you a video that ends in 40944.
Stop that. You may. You can take it off the screen for now.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can republish.
Thank you, Your Honor.